working with the artistic filters in Photoshop. Artistic filters are special effects, and they really do try to replicate traditional fine arts and traditional fine art effects. There are 15 artistic filters, so let's go ahead and apply them. I'm going to have my background layer, and I had mentioned previously that you're not able to apply a filter on a background layer. Let's see what we do when we go under Filter and do a Convert for Smart Filters. When I do that, my box says to enable re-editable smart filters, the selected layer will be converted into a smart object. Is that what I want to do? Yes, I do. So now I no longer have a background layer. I have layer 0, which is just the default that Photoshop starts with. And I have the little icon in the bottom corner that indicates it's a smart object. So now I can apply smart filters. So by doing that command, it automatically converts my layer into a smart object. So now let's take a look at the artistic effects. Under Filter, we're going to go into Filter Gallery, and we're going to look at some of the artistic effects here. Let's go through these and explain a little bit of what the effect is so you can anticipate the change. The colored pencil. This has a colored pencil effect. It does retain important edges. So you can look at what happens here. I'm going to undo actually the underpainting by clicking the delete so you can just see the colored pencil effect. The cutout effect. And I'll zoom out a little bit here in my preview so you can see a little bit more of the picture. So again, we have all of our settings over here so you can see the adjustments that I can certainly do here. But this allows for high contrast images to appear in a silhouette. It has the effect of using several layers of colored paper. Kind of a stacked cutout feel. The dry brush. This one simplifies an image by reducing its range of colors. This gives a kind of interesting effect here. If I increase the brush size, you'll see details. If I decrease the brush size here and decrease the brush detail, you'll start seeing a little bit of flatness almost, so to speak here. And if I increase the texture, you're going to see some of that texture coming in right around the edges. The film grain. So this applies even color variations throughout an image. The fresco. This one paints an image with short, round daubs of color. The neon glow adds a glow effect to the selected objects. And again, you can have your glow color and the glow brightness and the glow size. So there is a point where it converts over there. The paint daubs gives an image a painterly effect, and again I can decrease the sharpness here and increase the brush size, and you see more of a softer, as though it's been painted. My palette knife. This one reduces the level of detail in an image and really reveals the underlying texture. Plastic wrap. A lot of people find this one to be interesting. This accentuates the surface details and makes the contents of a layer look like it's covered in plastic, or in this case, covered in ice. The poster edges. This reduces again the number of colors in an image, as you see a lot of them do, and this one has edge thickness, edge intensity, and the posterization. And you can see that we have different effects here as well that I can go through just as I am right now. The rough pastels makes an image look as if it's stroked with a colored pastel chalk on a textured background. So we're looking more like the pastels. A smudge stick softens an image by smudging or smearing the darker areas. And we have a sponge, which creates highly textured areas, making it look like it was painted with a sponge. Underpainting paints the image in a textured background. and watercolor. Simplifies the appearance of the object, making it look like it was painted with watercolors. And if I kind of decrease or increase some of this area here, you can see in brush detail, if I decrease the brush detail, you start looking as though watercolors do, that kind of slip on the edges. So a lot of different effects. Some of them you may feel, well, it looks really kind of similar. So you have to play with those settings to get that right effect. But now you understand kind of what each filter does, so you know where to go. So if I click OK here, I now have a smart filter with that applied. So the appearance of a filter can be altered by adjusting the appearance of the colors. And so two ways that you can do that. I can go under Image and I can go to Adjustments, and I can apply any of these image adjustments. Now remember, these are destructive. So a better way to do it is to open up your Adjustments panel and play with your adjustments here. I'm going to drag this up so you can see it maybe a little bit better. So if I wanted to play with hue and saturation, I can apply this adjustment here. We can make a different colored rose if we wanted to. Okay, so I can play with this and change the adjustment, which again, non-destructive. This is another way that we can adjust the filter effects in Photoshop.